Mention Peranakan to anyone in Singapore and inevitably the conversation will center on sumptuous nyonya cuisine. But there's more to the Peranakans than just food. Essentially a fusion of the Chinese, Malay, Dutch and Portuguese cultures, the Peranakans hold the key to a heritage that can go back as far as 4 generations in a single family. And so it is from them that we will try to uncover some long-lost secrets of age-old beauty regimes. Gosh, talk about feeling run down. It has been such a busy week that I'm just beginning to catch my breath. Late nights, early mornings, and deadlines do not go together. So I'm declaring a timeout. For the next few days, I'm just going to indulge in something more relaxing. Peranakan beauty treats. You know, my friend's Peranakan grandmother used to nag her on a daily basis about 1 cold glass of water every morning, girl, she used to say. She believed that after a long night's sleep, it would rehydrate the body. And in the long run, it would be fantastic for smooth, silky skin. Just one last sip of water, because I do take my friend's grandma very seriously. I'm just gonna grab my trusty pounder as I tell you all about this. Now, you know the Peranakans, they are really famous for their wonderful curries and achars. And they have all these fabulous ingredients, herbs and spices that they use. But a lot of the ingredients that go into their achars and curries can actually be made into a room freshener, believe it or not. I've decided to call it the nyonya-baba potpourri. I'm gonna start with pandan leaves. Now look at these. So I'm just gonna take about 3 leaves off of this. If our friends across the Atlantic can have their potpourri with lavender and rose, surely we can have something like this, all natural. Tearing, smashing, and pounding things releases their natural aroma. Into there, I'm going to go with these beautiful kaffir lime leaves. Now the kaffir lime leaf is just such an exotic fragrance. Just give them a little bit of a crush to release that beautiful lemony aroma, and in they go. Next, I'm actually going to put some mandarin orange peel. I'm going to grab my grater. Now the mandarin orange has a very thin skin, but it also has this wonderful aroma that comes through when you start grating it. Mandarin orange is really prized for its oil. It's a very, very essential oil in the art of perfumery. To that, I'm going to actually add some basil, and I'm just going to use about 5 of these. This is lovely. Next, I'm actually going to put in some laksa leaves. And they're a little bit dry right now, which is absolutely perfect for a potpourri because you want all the ingredients to actually dry out just naturally. Next, I'm going to put in some lemongrass. You've seen this in your teas, but it's also an excellent room freshener. Just cut it into your pounder. That's really all you need. In it goes. It smells great. To that, I'm just going to add about 5 or 6 star anise. And here is the amazing thing about star anise. In the old days, it was used in China as a breath freshener, but today, it is the major ingredient in the drugs that they're manufacturing to fight bird flu. And I kind of feel like it needs a little more color. So I am going to use the remaining skin of this mandarin orange. Perfect. I'm gonna give it a little mix. Put it in my pretty basket. Just gonna give it a little toss around. That smells so wonderful. It's zesty, it's fresh. I'm gonna put this in my living room. Nyonya-baba potpourri. Method: tear the pandan, basil, laksa and kaffir lime leaves by hand in small pieces and crush to release fragrance. Cut the lemongrass stalks into pieces, pound to release aroma. Grate the mandarin orange peel and add to the mix. Finally, add in the star anise and toss. It really does smell divine. I'm going to place it at this vantage point because this is where the fragrance will just waft right through the room. You know, I'm actually really finding it a little bit difficult to find authentic information about the Peranakan culture and traditions in books and magazines. I think I'm going to have to take a trip into the past.
Katong and Juchiat are historically associated with the Peranakan community in Singapore. One of these shop houses is a treasure trove of Peranakan memorabilia collected over generations.
And the man who has taken it upon himself to be the guardian of the past, Peter Wee. And you must be Peter.
Yeah,
Baba Peter,
yes,
right?
Hello, how are you? Welcome,
Anita.
Anita.
Thank you. Look at this place. You just got all these wonderful pictures here that you've just collected over the years.
I'm the custodian of the past history of the Peranakan, which started in Malacca in 1500 when the Chinese traders came to Malacca, intermingled with the local inhabitants. As history goes, they were visited by the Dutch, the Portuguese, and the British. Today, I'm fourth generation in Singapore, and I could trace to Malacca another 5 generations. Actually, this wall I created with my ancestors all there. So you can see 4 generations of my family. And this is my mother when she was 20 years old.
Oh, she's beautiful.
And today, she is 94.
So you've got art, this beautiful porcelain, drama, music, and of course, food. So of course the food would be then equal parts both cultures too, right?
Yes.
Some Malay influences, some Chinese influences. That's brilliant. Thank you. And Peter, what is that?
I got this in Malacca. It's dried papaya.
Dried papaya? And what do you use this for?
You use this as the main basis of making the achars.
Nobody makes achar like that anymore.
Well, I do.
I know where to come. Ooh, more treasures.
Yes, this is the second hall. Well, these are the typical jewelry of a nyonya lady. These are the silver belts. This is to fasten the sarong that she wore. My favorite piece is this 4-tier.
So how would this have been worn?
Well, worn around the waist. You would like to try it on?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So this would be to fasten your sarong, right? And back in those days, ladies had smaller waists as well.
Yes. I've brewed some tea for you.
Thank you so much.
Today I'm going to introduce to you this cooling concoction made of rice powder pellets. Now this is homemade by the Peranakans,
Right.
And this is rose water. It's Malay, air mawar. So we're just going to pour this there, and you see, and then we just smash it up into a paste, and you just apply it to your skin. It's a cooling effect.
So who used to use this?
Well, nyonya ladies, and as well as young babies.
Thank you for my homemade budak sejuk.
Welcome.
If there's anything that clearly marks the identity of the Peranakan nyonya, it must be the kebaya. In Katong, Auntie Kim has earned an enviable reputation for sewing this delicate Peranakan treasure, and she's been at it since she was 16. You can always tell which kebaya is a nyonya-baba by the material it is tailored in. The Peranakans prefer lighter, more transparent materials, adding a sexier edge to the outfit. The kebaya is fastened with a set of 3 korongsangs, or brooches. Kebaya tailoring is a craft in itself. The motifs are intricately designed and painstakingly sewn using special multicolored thread. The empty spaces between the threads are individually cut. Unlike modern fashion designers, the kebaya does not bear a label to reveal the identity of the tailor. The beauty of the kebaya is all there is to market the tailor's skills. The kebaya is truly an art form on its own and a great help to enhance a woman's beauty, and thankfully still remains a living testimony to the fading Peranakan culture. Met my first true blue Peranakan Baba this week. It's reassuring to know that there are dedicated individuals who are committed to keeping some part of the tradition alive. And of course, I did succeed in getting what I'd set out to find, a recipe for my own beauty treatment. Many of the traditional beauty regimes from the nyonyas were simple and pure, and surprisingly, made with the very ingredients that went into their delicious cooking in the kitchen.
Since one half of Peranakan culture is in its Chinese heritage, it's not surprising that a lot of the ingredients required for its beauty secrets are found in Chinese cuisine.
The Chinatown wet market is a smorgasbord of spices, colors, and smells that altogether add to the richness of the Peranakan heritage.
Wow. Hello. Your whole stall is all about herbs. Wow. And there are all these articles up here, all talking about like the goodness of herbal remedies, plants. And did you have mint?
这个就是 mint 薄荷，
And what can I use this for?
它有止咳、祛风的功能。
Okay, I'll take this. And I need some limes, but for the juice, you know?
哎，这个很多汁的，这个它的皮很香。
Okay, so this is if you want just the aroma from the lime, and this, of course, is if you want lots of juice, which is what I need. I'll take this, please.
Okay.
Thank you. I need one more thing, Auntie. Torch ginger. This is the one,
Yeah.
right? So this is for...
可以炒螺鸭
Right.
螺鸭花来的，也可以煮阿三鱼，
Okay.
也可以做那个用鸭酱的辣椒，
Oh,
煮茄
okay.
子啊，什么都可以放下去，很香的。
Well, apparently I can use this for curry, and I can even use this for nyonya chili, but I am going to use it for a very special skin tonic. I will take this, thank
Okay.
you. This is an unbelievable place. I am so thrilled that I have discovered this. I'm going to be back for loads more. And you know, it's amazing because the herbal culture is obviously alive and kicking in Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, I could use that.
Morning.
I love these bitter gourds. Good morning,
Yes.
Uncle. I love bitter gourd, but you know, it's actually also medicinal. I used to have a neighbor who used to drink these juiced every day because apparently it's really good for reducing diabetes and gout. Talk about a bitter pill. These ones, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
这个冬瓜是清热解毒，
This is winter melon, and you've seen this in your soups, but hey, it's also apparently good, according to this gentleman, to cool the body. I'll take this too.
这样快罢啦。
Okay, thank you. See, this is the great benefit of carrying an enormous shopping bag. Everything just goes straight in. Can't forget my bitter gourd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle.
Bye bye.
As I learn more about the Peranakan culture, I realize that their beauty is truly multifaceted. The attention to detail is in every part of their life. It's a true effort to remain elegant always. To the traditional nyonya, it was important to be presentable at all times. This meant being properly attired from top to toe. On her feet, she wore a pair of beautifully hand-sewn kasut manik, or beaded shoes. Rumah Bibi is one of a handful of Peranakan shops that still make hand-sewn beaded shoes today in Singapore. And the famous nyonya keeping the tradition alive is Bibi Seat.
Well, I wasn't interested in beading years ago. Somehow, a pair of beaded slippers caught my attention, and when I found that I couldn't get a pair like that, I decided to challenge myself to produce one myself. That was when I started looking for someone to teach, and I found my friend's mother, who passed on the skill to me. This form of beading is called the Peranakan beading, and in the Peranakan patois, it is jahit kasut manik. Kasut means shoes, manik means beads. The beads that were used by the nyonyas, they are called manik potong, and the beads are really the smallest of the sizes. And I believe that it was the European traders who brought in the beads to the nyonyas, along with the techniques of embroidery. It is a very therapeutic feeling because you tend to get engrossed with the design. It's a good distress for the mind. I'm glad that I am able to do a small part in preserving the culture. The beading in itself is almost a lost art. What I'm going to show you now is how to prepare the coconut oil lotion for your hair. Coconut oil is very rich, full of vitamins, and it will make your hair rich and shining. Here we add half a glass of water. We put this in a bag and we squeeze out the milk. And we are going to add the 2 stalks of the pandan leaves. The pandan will give fragrance to the coconut oil. Boil this for 1.5 hours over a moderate fire. This is what it looks like after 1.5 hours of boiling, and you need to strain it. It's so fragrant and it's so rich in vitamins, and it's really good for the hair. And this is what the nyonyas would use for the hair. And this is the residue that you get after the oil has come off. It clumps together and it's so fragrant and tasty. You can just eat it. It will be a treat for your kids. The nyonya has long hair, which she would tie up in a bun for all occasions, and her complexion will be very clear, which she takes care of with her homemade recipes.
You know, the smell of the nyonya-baba potpourri, it still lingers in the house. And when I was in Chinatown Market, the gentleman did say you have to take the winter melon back home with you because it has all these cooling properties. Brought it home and I thought, I'm going to make myself a winter melon eye cooler. Just going to need a couple of other things. Trusty pounder, of course. Some mint leaves. Wow, just look at that. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Exactly what you need just for your eye area. Now I just need 2 tablespoons. So what you have to do is you need to scoop out the seeds that are in the center first. Just making sure that I've got all the seeds out. Just slide your spoon in and get the rest of the wonderful white flesh that's just around the outside. Now the gentleman at the vegetable stall said winter melon is extremely cooling for the body and that's why it's used so much in soups, but it is also a natural detoxifier. And of course I'm just going to smash it up in my pounder. And I'm going to actually swirl it around because you get a much smoother paste that way. Once you've got it pretty mushy and nice, I'm going to send that back into the bowl. Now to that, I'm going to add just half a teaspoon of mint juice. So I've got the fresh mint that I bought from the herb shop the other day. Well, now the reason that we're using mint is that it not only stimulates the eye socket area, it helps with circulation and it's antibacterial. Don't be alarmed, of course, if it starts to turn a little bit brown. It's meant to do that. Now I'm going to pop that right back in here so that I really get it all mixed together, and I'm going to just smash it around a little bit more. Wow, that smells outrageously effective. You know what I'm going to do? Pop it in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes for best results. Winter melon eye cooler. Method: remove seeds from the winter melon and scoop flesh into a bowl. Pound. Crush the mint leaves in a pestle and mortar to release juice. Squeeze half a teaspoon of mint juice into melon. Mix well and apply. Now I'm particularly excited about this tonic that I'm about to make because I'm a real advocate of things that are good for you on the inside and on the outside. And I'm about to make a Peranakan skin tonic. Now this is something I would imagine the nyonyas of the old days would have been absolutely great at because they really took such great care of themselves. And what I've got in front of me are really quintessential Peranakan ingredients. I've got the bitter gourd, I've got coconut juice, I've got luscious lime. I'm gonna add a little bit of honey to it and even a little surprise ingredient later. So what I need to do is to get the juice of a bitter gourd. Cut this up so it's just easier for it to be juiced. Now, I'm done with that. I just need to pop it into a glass. So I'm just going to take the juice of this and I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of water. To that, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of lime juice, which is about half lime. And I have my lovely limes that I picked up in the market the other day. And as the lady said, the small ones are just for the zest and the aroma. These are for the juice. Of course, going to add a little bit of a sweet ending to this.
And I just need a teaspoon. Now remember to always use honey that is room temperature. It's just easier to mix in. And to that, I'm just gonna pour in coconut water. And now, of course, for my very secret ingredient, torch ginger. And as the lady said at the herb store, this is the one you want for the aroma and for a little bit of that exoticness. Just a little bit, really. Adds a little interesting flavor to everything. And then, just use the other end to stir it all in. Can't wait to try this, and I'm about to do just that. My goodness, that's genuinely good. I can't believe that something that started out that bitter tastes this good. Wow. You know, this is what I call the classic 2-in-1, and here's why. Not only is this gonna cleanse me from the inside out, it actually is gonna cleanse me from the outside in, because you can actually use this as a skin tonic. I'm just gonna try a little dip in here. Now this is actually an astringent. So it's gonna cleanse your skin, cut out all the grease, just leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, and then just wash it off. And by the way, this is the perfect way to try something new, especially when you're dealing with ingredients that are all natural. They're pretty strong. You need to do a little patch test, see that you don't have any redness or any discomfort, and then just go for it. I think I'm gonna have another little drink of this. This is really remarkable. Oh, and by the way, if you've got any traditional recipes, beauty remedies, all little secrets that you've got tucked away in some diary, send them to me at feedback@artcentral.sg.
Peranakan Skin Tonic. Method: juice 1 bitter gourd, combine with half a cup of water. Squeeze in half a lime or 1 tablespoon. Add 1 teaspoon of honey and stir well. Top up with coconut water. Add pieces of torch ginger and stir. Life was definitely busy for the Peranakan nyonya in the early days, having to manage the entire household by herself, yet she never neglected the way she looked. The nyonya was the pinnacle of grace and efficiency, and perhaps if we learn to slow down our harried lives, we can achieve the same.
You know what, I think it's about time for me to try the fruit of my labor. I have this wonderful winter melon eye cooler. I can't wait to try it. Wow. You know, now I know why the nyonya ladies took such great care of themselves. I mean, they had this treasure trove of ingredients and they could do so much with it. Wonderful beauty recipes. You know what? I'm just gonna sit back and relax now.